Hi, welcome back. In our last video, we discussed about the product section. So here we have done the storage part. Okay, we have save part. Here have to do the you try to do the edit and delete part. That's same thing as a brand. We already did these two things. How to edit the brand, how to delete the part. That two things you have to do yourself. It's very simple, right? So you try out. Let me go to the sales part. That is very important part, which is our POS, the main POS of point of sale system. Right. Now, first, I'm going to create the controller. So click on this. We have to create the controller. So how to create the controller? We have using PHP artisan. We have to create PHP artisan make controller. Right. So here you can see here if you have any confused with that create a controller, you can go to my tutors funny. Here you have a Laravel section. So here we upload our Laravel all migration part. You just copy this. So I'm going to go to here. I'm going to create the migration part. So I'm going to simply have to type it here PHP. Sorry, we have not this table. We have accidentally created this table. So we have to create the sales table. The sales table. I'm going to create first one is a sales table. After that, we have to create another table which is a sales details table. We have to create the two different tables, right? So we have to create the two different table, which is a sales table, another one is a sales details table. So we have to create two different tables in order to achieve the record. So we have to create the two different tables. So here what I did here is here we have to migration. So here we have done sales details tables, right? Sales details and sales details tables, right? So we have to create another table which is a sales details table. Sales details table. Right. Two tables we have created successfully. Now what you are going to do is we have created two tables successfully. Now what you are going to do is after that we have to create the table we have creation successfully. Now after that we have to do the thing is right. Now I'm going to create the table, right? Sales table and sales details table. We have a two kind of tables we have created, right? Sales table and details table, right? So here we have a generate the invoice ID. Once invoice ID has many items, right? So we have a relationship sales table and sales details. One sales has many details, but sales is one. So one to many relationship. So here how to do the thing is first I'm going to go to my uh, database migration folder. This is my database migration folder. Here we have a two table has been created, sales table and sales details table, right? Then we have to add the columns, right? For sales table, what are the columns we have to add it over here? We have to implement that the sales table consists of these are the tables, columns, right? These are the decimal value you have right. This is the decimal, right? This is a data type which is a decimal table decimal. You have write total. After that pay. After that balance. These are the three things. The ID is a sales ID. This is a sales ID which have a total amount, payable and balance. So here now here the look at the table. So we have a understand that. So sales table like this. Sales. So invoice ID one. Okay, this is a total. Right here, if you want, you can put in the barcode as well here. Right, this is right. Okay, so here you have write the sales ID. You have write a total. Total. Out of that pay amount and balance. These are the things are there. Only. The sales details table consists of. So here we have write sales ID 1. So total amount 12,000. Payable 10,000. Right, balance 2,000 like this. So sales details table consists of, you can see here, there is some, these are the columns, right? So we have tried this all things, I just copy it. You can see here, as you can see here, sales details table, sales ID, product ID, price, and quantity and total cost, right? So this is a final total 12,000. These are the items. Some of the item you are by 1,000, 5,000, sorry, 1,500, 600. Likewise, altogether the total will be display altogether the total will be displayed 12,000. So that is the product details. How many products you are buying, that is the product details coming, like one by one. But sales ID is one. This one invoice ID consists of many products, right? So these are all the things we have right based on here. I'll be explained, don't worry. So here we have to make the foreign key relationship. This sales ID goes to another table which is a sales details table which called as sales ID. So the how to assign the foreign key, you have to write unsigned big integer, you have to write like this, right? So in order to implement the foreign key relationship, I already told you have to write this one. Table foreign the sales ID, refer the ID which is a sales. So here the sales ID which is ID, which same ID which is available in the table which is called as sales ID. So sales table, you have to write like this. This is to make this how you have to make the relationship very simple way. Okay. So these are the columns of sales table. So these are the sales data table. This is sales ID, which is the sales table, which is the primary which will be available in the sales details table, which is a foreign key. This is a product ID. After the price, respective price, how many quantity you are buying. After that, the cost, total the cost. Okay. So we have a relationship here right like this. This is how we have to make the relationship, right? So before you have to migrate, you have to file save all these two tables. Here you have to write the command PHP artisan. You have to write migrate. Press enter key. Now here the table has been migrated successfully. The table has been migrated. We have done the migration successfully, right? So if you like, you can here you can see go to the shop first. Here you can check it the sales details table as well as a sales table. Okay. So we have a two table as the column has been created successfully. Now it's back to our project again. This is a project. Now what you're going to do is we have to create the control. Now let's create the controller. So I'm going to create the controller which is a PHP artisan make controller. This controller which is a sales controller. It is a sales controller. Right. Sales controller has been created. After that we have to create the another one is a PHP artisan make model which is a sales model. After that we have to create the another model which is a sales details model. You have to create two different models, right? Okay, the sales model and sales details model, right? So first what I'm going to do is we have to create the controller. After that we have to make the relationship. So in order to make the relationship, what I did here is here I'm going to go to my models. I'm getting this one. I'll be explaining, right? So you can see here. First I'm going to after create the sales controller, I'm going to create the models. You have to create two different models, sales model and sales details model. Sales model, here we have a sales, the table name which is a sales. Okay, sales. It's a primary key, fillable column, total pay balance. This is a fillable column, total pay balance. Okay, fillable column. So we have a relationship. So one sales consists of many sales details. One sales ID consists of many sales details. So here we have write it sales details. What you're going to do is here, you have write it over here. Here we have write the same thing. You have to copy it. Here we have write it over here. The sales details table. We have a sales details. We have write sales details. This one. What's the name you have given here? The same name you have write here. The sales details. Right. The same name. Okay, because this if you give the wrong name, it won't communicate with the database. So we have to correct the person name you are while you create the database person name you are given here. The same name you have to write it over here, then only it will be establish the database connection. After that, primary key, so get the sales id, so this is sales id, product id, price, total. Here this is sales id, this was the auto increment, so we no need. Sales id, product id, price, the rest of the columns, these are the columns we have to specify over here, the name, right? Okay, right. After that, we have to make the relationship, right? Sales belongs to, right? This is sales id, this is the right, this is a column in between the sales and sales details, in between the relationship. So one sales id has many sales details, so here as to many relationship, right? Okay, here one sales id belongs to, you have to write the same thing here, the one sales, the one here, this is one side, mean this has many relationship. The one sales id consists of many sales items, so as many relationship. The sales details table, it belongs to mean this sales belongs to one which is a sales table. This is how we have made the one to many relationship. Okay, so already we discussed about this is the which key of we are going to in between the relationship we are doing, this sales id, this sales id, the sales table, sales, the sales id, sales details, this sales id, right? Sales table, sales id, right? So this is the primary key and foreign key relationship we have to establish over here. Okay, we have to implement the relationship. Okay, one to many relationship, right? So file save all, right? So this how we have make the relationship. We have continued my next video tutorials a few the things. Thank you for watching.